Hi, today a look on the teardown at this radio for Soviet troopers. It is the model R157. So it is a fairly modern radio, and mine has serial number 55886. So it is lightweight. It covers frequencies from 44 to 53.9 MHz with a whopping output power of 150 milliwatts. So as you can see, the control interface is fairly straightforward. You have two buttons for the frequency selection. You have the antenna socket for your Kulikov antenna. You have your terminal for the headset and some air filling port here. Plastic case. On the side, push button to release the battery pack. It looks like it was provided with an adapter to use regular AA batteries, probably 10 of them, 8 or 10 of them probably. And you can see the release mechanism, but I am missing the battery box. Here you have the headset and the control box. So fairly generic headset with this weird chic microphone with your 3 holes in the microphone. Very low quality speaker using a metal disc and a magnet, electromagnet, solenoid. Rubber cable, all this is rubber. Strap to put around your head, and the controller box to put on your chest, I believe. We have a 3 position button here for the main control of the radio. We have probably a call tone or Morse push button here, and the main transmitting button here. At the back we have a plug provision to connect something else. We will see this later when I will open this. So on the radio the connector is in quite sad condition, but I believe it is still possible to connect it. Not really, because I am missing the screw thing here at the plug to screw on this connector for some reason. Okay, so I will first open this. I did already remove 2 screws to save some time. And if I remember correctly, this thing is quite a nightmare to open because there is a lot of internal threadings and screws. From what I remember. So we will see immediately. The screws are very long. There is provision to fit to put some seals above the screw heads, some wax for factory seals. And there is, surely enough, a watertight seal here. Okay, yes. As expected, a lot of tiny screws to undo. You can see it is just a shielded metal box. 2 terminals here to make contact with the batteries. Matching spring contacts back at the bottom here. Okay, so I will undo all these little screws and I will be right back. Okay, so just 1 screw remaining each side, and this cover should come off, revealing a terrible mess of circuit board and wires. Interesting. So on the cover we have some kind of fiber insulating material. So I guess the other side is exactly the same. Yes. So as you can see, very crowded circuit boards. We have here what seems to be a high frequency power transistor. QT610B with golden legs. And now if I want to pry this open, it looks like I need to maybe remove the buttons on the front here with the set screws. Or loosen the set screws at least, where there are two of them. And we have little tiny Phillips screws here on the side, which I did completely forget about, and which will not come easily because my screwdriver is too big. So let me undo them. So yes, this thing is quite a pain to take apart, as you can see. It should allow to pop off the front panel and maybe pry open the two circuit boards to see what we have on them. As you can see, lots of wires connected on them in all possible directions. Square tracks. So where are we going? We are going at the point I did forget one set screw. This one is a little bit too loose. Okay. So we have, in fact, oops, you know what, anyway, this radio is not in a working condition, so let's undo all this, it will be much easier. It is even in very bad condition. So here we have the buttons. The two buttons with this kind of eccentric mechanism to drive switches inside, and here a bolted plate probably for water tightness. The connector also, you can see that it apply some goop over the screw holes, probably for water tightness. So here is what it looks inside. And now I should be able to pull, yes, first side. So you can see a very heavily populated circuit board. We have a lot of little shielded modules, probably hybrids, like such. Quartz here, the two wafer switches here, more modules, and in the middle of them just regular resistors, transistors. Quite an impressive thing. And we have just a few wires connecting this side to a middle panel, which seems to be some shielding, probably. Just a few. Some of the wires are already loose on this, so it goes back in this direction. Other side will probably be mostly the same stuff, but I did see some big hybrid. It will not come off because of these wires, it seems. So anyway, the radio is already ruined, so I think I will remove all the wires and allow to have circuits loose. It will be easier for tinkering with them. So here we have more of the same stuff, except one big hybrid module. Quite a nice surprise to find this. They are not very usual. Some weird things here in round cans. And yes, just more of the same kind of pieces. Here round IC, metal can capacitors, and all of them here, according to the number of pins we have under them, 8 or 10 pins each time, must be little hybrids. Model M03-01, M04-02, M02-12 here, so yes, probably all little hybrid modules. You can see here they did shield to connect together with little wires for shielding probably. And a lot of these green mica capacitors, very high quality. This is the other side of a power transmitting transistor. You can see a golden screw piece, and it is bolted on the PCB. Here did bug transistor, and here the other side of the middle PCB, which is mostly some kind of interconnect, it seems, between the two sides, and shielding at the same time. Okay, so I will try to put this poor thing back together, and we will have a look at the handset. So before we go to the headset unit, I did notice that this thing is really weird. I was believing we had switches in this, but no, there is no mechanical link. So, and it is connected to the wafer switch here, so I wonder if it is some kind of resistor network or something like this. So I will try to remove it in order to have a look inside. So it is a plastic box, it seems, with one board each side with the terminals, 2 screws to secure it to the frame, and 2 more screws to undo. By the way, it will be the opportunity to use my 4mm Facom pipe wrench. It is not every day you need it. So yes, the screw will come off easily. First one. Here is a second one at the bottom. Oops. And it should pop open. It should. I need something sharp. Oh, this is interesting. So there is a wire interconnecting the 2 sides that I need to cut, and this was not expected, guys. It looks like we have probably yes, there are little hybrid resistor networks mounted on ceramic strips, probably, I guess. with very small almost bonding wires, but I have not sure if they are really bonding wires. So I will try a ninja thing with my Swiss Army knife and the magnifier on this, on it. Not sure how it will show on camera, but this was not expected, and in fact I didn't ever notice this previously when I did open the radio. Yes, we have little strips with carbon, printed carbon. Each one of the little black squares here are probably carbon resistor. There is another extra one here, and it is a resistor network for the frequency selector switch. Two of them actually, but really miniaturized, so it was probably the best of miniaturization back in the time in Soviet Union. Quite amazing, because in fact, yes, we have what seems to be very small bonding wires, but they are soldered with regular solder, it seems. They are not spot welded like bonding wires usually. And this, each time with 4 little strips of ceramic. Interesting. Okay, now to the headset. So about this piece, there is no point I open this because it is really difficult to reassemble because of the rubber, and it is just wires, one speaker and one microphone. But here we have this little box which probably contains some more electronics. So there is some writings, if someone can translate. Here also, it is upside down by the way. Okay, so first at the back we have this cover, and it is interesting to note, in fact you can see it is written ground, microphone and telegraph, and we have just 3 pins poking out, so it must be for connecting one other controller to the thing. But if I remove the screws, so we have 3 slotted screws and one Phillips one, which is probably for putting the factory seal over it. So this should open. Oh, of course, if I forget one screw, it will not help. Okay, and it is pretty simple inside. We have one tiny PCB, not even a PCB, terminal board. We have micro switches for each one of the features. One little transformer, probably for driving the speaker. Must be impedance transformer for the speaker, I believe. And we have this little piece. You can see we have one red indicator here doing something, and all the wires are sealed inside this with circular nuts to make water tightness, probably. The screw did just fall inside and will not come back. And there is a seal also around the case, and it is, yes, all die cast. And they did provide some insulator here just for at the level of the contacts of this transformer. So what do we have on this PCB? We just have one capacitor, one resistor, and one tiny little bulb. It is not a LED, it is a bulb. which is probably fairly low voltage. I will try to drive it, see if it even works or not. So we have one contact here, one here, and yes, it is lighting up very little bit. Yes, as you can see, I will crank the voltage a little bit and try to reinstall. So here is what it does look like when it is inside the lit inside the module. Okay, and you can see there is a piece of strand of wire, nylon wire, with a nut here to attach this cable to secure it. There is another one here over this, and it is secured with a nut around this not a nut, well, a thing here around this post. So there is probably the same thing back in the connector, and it goes all the way along in the cable, really to secure it, and you cannot pull on it. So you will pull on this strong thing instead of pulling up on the very thin wires, which are regular Teflon coated Soviet wires. You can see here we have some kind of cam for the rotary button in plastic with a circlip. Some date codes, so I did not find 1986 over this capacitor. Okay, so it is mid to late 80s vintage. Okay, so it will be all for this. I will try to put back this radio together. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.